Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. Welcome to another fun session planned on Twitch. Planned. Today's a little bit different. For a change, we will not be looking at a... Oh, no, actually, I can't really say that. I was going to say that we're not going to be looking at an IDE, at DataGrip, but that's not entirely true. We will be looking at an IDE, but it's in a browser. Today I'm following a course on DataCamp about SQL, and I thought it would be a great chance to learn together. I'm not starting at the beginning. If it's your first time here on stream, welcome. If it's not your first time on stream, welcome back. I have streamed before about SQL, and so yeah, I'm not a entry-level SQL writer, programmer. Therefore, I won't be starting at the very beginning with SQL. I've already kind of skipped through the basic stuff. I'm doing some of the more, advanced exercises is not really the word for it. Maybe I should just bring up what I'm looking at and we can get started with that. So, yeah, this is DataCamp. It's a very cool platform. I've had a subscription for a while. I do learn about different topics here because I think it is important to keep learning, as I do say all the time. So I am walking the talk, if you will. If you don't like the music or if you have other comments about the stream, feel free to write in chat. Also, if you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. What interests you about data analysis? What interests you about SQL? What interests you about data in general? I'm curious to know. Let's have a little bit more of a light session today versus the more structured sessions I was doing in the past few weeks. Since I've started streaming more or less in December, I've always done more structured and planned sessions where I wanted to look at something more in detail about a specific topic, and we looked at that in one or even two streams, like we did the last two streams about Pokemon, where we were trying to build the perfect Pokemon team of 6. And to give you a short update on that, if you're curious, I actually posted in the Our Pokemon subreddit and got very, very good feedback. As in, the team is bad. Let's just be very straight with that. The team is bad. So obviously our data analysis approach is insufficient. But the feedback in that sense was good because people said why the team was bad and what was missing. And that's very important because, otherwise we wouldn't know why our analysis failed. And it actually shows something that I say all the time to work colleagues and people in the industry, which is knowing data, knowing how to do data analysis is not enough. You have to understand context. And seeing as we don't understand context of Pokemon, or I don't understand the context of Pokemon, for example, because I haven't really, when I played the game, I wasn't looking at the game from a stats perspective. I was a lot younger, so I was just playing the game as a player and not really worrying about all these stats behind it or playing even competitively. So it's kind of interesting that now later, coming back to a game like that I spent a lot of time with, that I am now unfamiliar with a lot of components of the game or details of the game that are relevant from a data analysis point of view. It just shows that you need that inside knowledge or the context of the data to be able to actually formulate really good recommendations or draw really good conclusions from the data. With other stuff that we looked at, like car accidents or road accidents in Switzerland, for example, which we did a few weeks back, I think it's a little bit easier to deduce answers from what you see in the data, because that data is a bit more generic. But maybe the golden rule is, as you go more specific into a topic, then I think you need to pay more attention to understanding the context of the data. So yeah, you may notice as well that you actually see my mouse now. I noticed that in the past streams in DataGrip, my mouse was not visible. So sometimes when I was pointing out something, literally pointing on the screen with the mouse, that wasn't visible. But it doesn't seem that anyone really noticed, or it didn't bother you. But if things like that in the stream happen, don't be afraid to say something. This is a really open environment. I am completely open to any type of feedback as long as it's constructive. You know, yeah, your stream is getting wrecked, you don't know shit, or whatever. As long as it's constructive and polite, it's not an issue for me to take that feedback to heart and think about it. I even have a suggestion box on my Twitch profile. If you do have suggestions, do put them in there. They can be topics as well, if something you're interested in seeing. Like I said, I'm all across the data spectrum, so everything with I would say the exception of data science and hardcore data engineering topics. Yeah, I should be able to show quite a few things on stream, I would imagine. And so today I am continuing a course that I already started, joining data in SQL, where there was an introduction to joins, which, needless to say, I did very quickly, and we're not going to be looking at today again. It covers a lot of different things, but now we're looking at outer joins and cross joins, which for me it's always a good thing to come back to these principles and understand how they work, and make sure that I'm always going through things correctly and understanding them. And I'm going to skip through the videos because I don't want to show the videos on the stream, because I feel like it's DataCamp's content, and I'm paying for that content, and of course if I share it with you guys on the stream, then I'm breaching that sort of content barrier. So I'm just sort of showing these exercises, and I think that's okay. But yeah, that's maybe just something about this stream, right? Like, I'm not doing this on behalf of DataCamp or something like that. I'm streaming for myself, and I don't earn any money with this stream either. It's totally fine. But I want to protect also DataCamp's right to their content, which they're basically licensing out to people like myself who buy a subscription. And if I would share all the video and everything like that, including all of the exercises within these Twitch streams, then I think it's a little bit unfair to them as a company, because it's a chance for them to earn money, and if you're just watching my stream and following along and pausing the video, etc., then it's not fair to them. So that is why I'll be skipping through these videos, like these crossing the Rubicon and stuff like that, or I'll blur it or something. I actually found a very cool blurring function, which allows me to just blur the screen like this, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we can put that back for the moment. So yeah, if you're watching, let me know if you have questions. I'm just going to be running through the SQL stuff. I'll keep an eye on chat in case you ask anything, but it won't be as interactive, let's say, in me explaining a lot of things, because a lot of the stuff is already explained on the screen, and I'm just having a chill Saturday evening writing SQL, like most people do, right? I think most people do that. So yeah, that's what I would say for now. So where did I get to so far in the course? I obviously skip through the introduction to the joins And now we're doing these outer joins and cross joins. And honestly, I mean, there's always a couple of gotchas with joins, right? So it is a good thing for me to practice those in a way, to fully understand the intricacies of joins, which of course is a fundamental concept behind SQL or database architecture in general. So yeah, we are going to go back to here. Yeah, and if I access something that I don't want you guys to see, then I'll just do that blur thing, but it's just to protect some of my personal information. Let's continue. So we will be doing the full join, basically putting two data sets together fully. So they've been using these countries and currencies, which I have found very useful as a data set. Funnily enough, they also had a data set with movies from IMDb. I don't know if any of you were in the stream where we talked about movies, actually 2 separate streams where we did looked at movies. So it's kind of funny that they also had an IMDb data set. Oh, and also someone let me know last time that the music was a little bit quiet, so I have bumped it up a couple percent points. So do let me know if it's too quiet as well. Seeing as I might not be talking as much this time, might want to bump it again. Let's see. So they actually give you numbers here about how you should start. I've been kind of ignoring the numbers and just starting from where I feel comfortable, but in some cases it makes a lot of sense. So obviously they want you to do from countries. We're going to give it an alias because that's the best practice. We're going to join with full join. We're going to full join 2 currencies. So we're going to full join, what's it called? Currencies. Maybe we should do like CO for country. Do they actually tell us what the aliases should be? Oh, we already did, sorry, I already did the first one. Repeat the same queries above, but use a left join. Oh, okay, so it's a left join. Currency CU. And now we're going to match using, and this is very interesting with the using, it's something that I've actually forgotten to do a lot, is that you can, if the field name is identical between the 2 joined data sets, you can just use using instead of doing left join xxx on blah 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 equals blah blah blah. It's significantly shorter to just talk about code. So for example, here we have the countries, which is code like that, and currencies code, which is the same. So we can just say using code because it's called the same in both. If it's not named the same, you can't, right? Where region is North America, or region is, they basically write this out for you here. So this is not super advanced yet. Order by region, run. That looks nice. Let's submit it. There we go. Repeat the same query as above, but use an inner join. Note what has changed. So this was our query result from before. And this kind of sucks that they just reset everything because I have to write everything out again. Inner join currencies. Whatever, we won't use any alias this time. They obviously don't care. Where region is... See, like if I type this once, then surely they could just leave it here. It's a bit silly. It's not like I'm going to forget between step 1 and step 2. Have you kept an eye out on the different numbers? Full join returned 17 rows, the outer join returned 4 rows, and the inner join only returned 3 rows. Do these results make sense to you? They do. Thank you. We will now investigate a similar exercise to the last one, but this time focus on using a table with more records on the left than the right. Languages and countries again. So languages, languages, and of course you can have multiple languages per country, and then you have countries. So Afghanistan, for example, has Dari, Pashto, Turkish, and other. Interesting. It's actually pretty cool data sets. So it tells us, for example, here, where countries.name starts with V or is null, to do that first. But, you know, I don't need to do what they say. I'm my own boss. Are you your own boss, chat? Do you decide what you do, or is someone else deciding for you? Anywho, from languages, we are going to do a full join. Countries, using code, where countries dot name starts with V, so that's a %V, or countries dot name is null. Order by ascending country's name. Countries.name. The auto-completion is very helpful. Let's run it to make sure we didn't make any silly mistakes. Lots of nulls. Submit answer. I don't know why they're asking us to do that. Check the first entry in the where clause. The checker expected to find... Oh yeah, we wrote that the wrong way around. Of course. V%. Sorry about that. There we go. So their checker is really good, by the way. Like, the parser that they've written is extremely precise. And if this is a bit small, I'm actually going to bump this a bit up in terms of size. Let me know if it's too small or too large. So, keyboard problem here. There we go. Okie dokie. And you see it reset everything again. Great. Repeat the same query as above, but use the left join. Okay. Note what has changed. What has changed? Let's find out. Where countries.name like V or countries.name is null. I'm copying this time. What do we get this time? This time it's a left join, so there are nulls in the country name. 56 items. I didn't pay attention last time. Let's see. Repeat once more, but use an inner join. Let's skip all the niceties. So now with an inner join, of course, we only get the ones that match both countries. So basically where the codes exist in both datasets. Again, make sure to compare the number of records to different types. It's a very good exercise. Become a power user. Control-Shift-Enter. Yeah. Full join. You'll now explore using 2 consecutive full joins on the 3 tables you worked with in the previous. Complete a full join with countries on the left and languages on the right. Next, full join this result with currencies. So from countries has C1. I don't agree with the aliases, just FYI. I like to use 3-letter aliases to be clearer as to what I'm talking about. I will never remember that country is C1, but like COT, for example, is clearer for me. and CUR is currency, and LAN is languages. But anyway, full join with languages. So full join languages as L, match on code, and full join currencies as C2, and they made it easy because they can use the code everywhere. Where region like Melanesia and region like, oh, wait a second, that's one, no, that's one term. Melanesia and Micronesia. Select fields. Blah blah blah. Use like to choose the Melanesia and Micronesia regions. Oh right, they want us to actually. Oh, hello, Ekaterina. See, this is SQL. The room was not SQL. Did you finish your stream? How was it? Like Mesia. Why would, okay. I would have just said, okay, I guess you can do it that way. Select fields. Select the fields corresponding to the country name as country, region, language. Okay, so country name is c1.name as country. They're very specific. Region, language name is l.name because we made an alias. As language, and basic and fractional units of currency. What does that even mean? Basic and fractional units of currency. Okay, basic unit and frac unit? Is that what they want? Oh, that's down here. Left that in there by mistake. So this is what they wanted. If the region is in Micronesia or Melanesia. Okay. Frac unit. Centime. No. Yeah. Full join because there's tons of nulls in here. Let's submit. Look at that. How many countries are in the regions you filtered on? A lot. 50 rows, but I think there's like 10 or 12 countries in there. I know that I can submit with a keyboard shortcut. I think this music is too chill. What do you guys think? I think I'm gonna change to something more exciting. Maybe like something like this. Anything except country, basically. So we have a something join is a join combining the results of a join and a join. Hi, Lily. What kind of SQL is DataCamp? I would say it's PostgreSQL. I read it somewhere, but I don't remember. yes, this is the DataCamp site directly. So normally in streams, if you're here for the first time, I go a little bit deeper into some data analysis of like a data set, or we look at like debugging a website or something like that. For most of the streams, we've been looking at data sets. The last 2 streams, we looked at Pokemon and making the perfect Pokemon team based on data stats. But yeah, now I'm just doing something a little bit different. I've been learning with DataCamp. This is, I would say, I'm at the stage in DataCamp right now where I'm sort of brushing up the SQL just to make sure I have everything in its right order. But we will get into the more advanced stuff today probably. So I plan to do good 2.5 hours maybe of continuous learning, as I call it. So if you want to follow later, I mean, of course I recommend, if you're really interested in learning SQL, to keep coming to my channel, of course. But I can link to the course itself from DataCamp. So this one's called Joining Data in SQL, but you can find the track if we go to, let me just check something. Just gonna blur that for a second. Also, you're using MS SQL Server. Yeah, it's not a huge difference, to be very honest with you. There are some very detailed differences in the functions. So if you just started a job as an analyst, that's really cool. Congratulations, by the way. Yeah, if you're doing data analysis work in SQL, then any flavor of SQL will really help you. DataCamp is a great resource, and at the moment I'm doing, it's the track I can show you. Yeah, so I can show you, it's this year. It's called SQL Fundamentals. Needless to say, the introduction did not take me as long as they probably planned, as I'm a little bit more advanced in SQL already. But if you are just getting started with SQL, you have a little bit of experience, that would be perfect, I think. That would be a great source to start. Yeah, but yeah, I think you can, in terms of following along from the video, the Twitch VOD is up for, I think, 7 to 10 days, but I do post them on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So the link should be in my profile on Twitch. And if not, I can definitely link to it afterwards. You can just chat me. But you should be able to find it. It's Matty Two Shoes on YouTube, or with my name, Matthew Brandt. You should be able to find that as well. So yeah, we are on the track. So the track is SQL Fundamentals, and it has different courses within it. It has 5 courses. They estimate 21 hours. I am looking to complete the whole course in much less than that. So you have you can do this assessment to verify the skill level and skip it, but I've actually been doing this. Maybe it would be interesting to do the assessment instead, rather than the reviews. Time challenges. Pooh. The assessment will automatically adapt to your skill level. This sounds fun. So yeah, here actually the flavor is Postgres, since you asked, Lily. So yeah, this would be fun. I haven't done a time pressure one in a while. Yeah, as you said, the major differences are really like add-ins and stuff like that. So we could do a time pressure test. Why not? I'm convinced that... Oh, that's already started. I'm convinced that I can do this. Count the number of times a player has been man of the match during the 2015. Player name count star. Inner join player as P on P dot player ID equals M dot. How would I even know this? expected output, player name. Inner join player as P. Jazzman, thank you for the follow. 45 seconds to try and do this. I don't understand the join key. Oh, match ID. Really? This seems a bit odd though. Join player as P. Oh, it's man of the match, isn't it? There's no other way. Let's do it. It would be weird. It should be called the same. I mean, there's a little line here, so that's cool. Each row is the column headers, yeah. Let's see how the next one goes. So 81 seconds, it's adapting. The purple cap column contains the ID of the player who won the purple cap title. List the names of purple cap players per season. Only records with a match in both tables should be retrieved. Player. On player dot what the hell? Purple cap contains the ID of the player. Yeah, so player ID equals season dot purple cap. This better be right. Don't know why they're naming the columns differently on purpose. Your answer has been submitted. Ooh, I guess they only tell you afterwards if it was correct. Nerve-wracking. The orange cap column contains the ID of the player who won the orange cap title. Okay. To complete the code, list the season year and the name of the orange cap holder. Season year, name of the orange cap holder. Okay. Inner join player on player dot player ID equals orange cap. Oh, table name first. Orange cap. Okay, this will be interesting. You need to compare the total number of matches played per season to the total number of matches ever played. Well, what are we going to count? Use a subquery in the select clause. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, use a subquery in the select clause to return the number of matches using the column match ID from the table match with alias as total matches. Okay, there's my alias. Comma's already there. Select star from is this what it means by subquery? I assume so. So total number of matches. See, I would have done this with a common table expression. Select from count star from use the column match ID. Oh, come on. I ran out of time on that one. Probably because I was watching chat too much. I blame you guys for that one. Oh dear. Gonna get terrible rating. Okay. Include a subquery in the where clause to identify rows where the win margin is greater than the average win margin. Okay. Select star. Where match ID in. We can do that. I think we can do an in. I really hate that they're not giving you the data set underlying it. Select match ID from it's too complicated. Include a subquery. Where? Oh my gosh. There's no way I can do this one. Match ID equals. No way. From the match data set. So much pressure. The match captain table lists the names of the captains for each IPL match. Which players have captained more than 50? Okay. Count. What are we counting? We are counting the distinct match ID. We'll just, yeah, it's called count. From match captain. Where? What does it want here? Match captain is just the names of captains. Okay, so where something greater than 50. This smells like a nested query. Select star from select star count distinct match ID. Come on, there's no way that you can do this in that time. Yeah, this is really hard, especially with the time limit. Thanks for the encouragement, Lily. I like to push myself. Maybe this is not the right type of pushing, but I don't believe in solving time-based exercises as a form of assessment, but I'll just play along with this and we'll see how it goes. Extract the last two characters from the string cricket. Expected output. Right. Yeah, that's a right function. So we're going to do cricket and then 2. I hope it's the right order, I don't remember. The food table contains nutritional information about items on a sale in a restaurant. Ha! The number of calories per 100 grams are given in the energy column. You want to compare the calories in the 5 items with the largest number of calories to the average number of calories in 77 seconds, of course. Create a new column, average calories, with the average over all of the data. Average energy. They've already done that. Comma. Average calories. Okay. I don't know what else they expect from me there. That's a bit of a weird one. Almost there. 9 out of 15. Extract the names of cities that start with A-E-I-O-U. Your results should not contain duplicates. Select distinct name from city where name like contain start with. Oh, what? Oh, wait a second. You can't do like because there's no contains? Is that even a query? We're gonna cheat on this one. Oh no, that doesn't exist. Starts with, are you kidding me? It would be, I know what they want. Yeah, but hold on a second, it comes out as name. Yeah, okay, so where left, I don't know why someone would do this. Name 1 equals, like, this is like such a weird way to do this. I would just do like in or something like that. Or just a series of like. Team name and number of runs scored during the 2016 season. Baseball. Oh dear. Calculate the number of 6s and 4s that were scored by each team. Select. Oh, case when runs scored 4, then 1. Calculate the number of 6s as 4s. This has to be sum case when run scores equals 6, then 1, else 0, and 6s. Group by team name. That should be correct. We are almost there. Sort the records in the player's runs table from the player with the least amount of runs to the player with the most amount of runs. Order by runs. Oh man, I hate descending and ascending. Descending is going to be the biggest one on top, so it's going to be ascending, which we don't need to put. In case of a tie, also sort the records according to the name of the player. Order by runs, comma, player name. And we want it to be descending in the player name. Or is it ascending, alphabetic? Ooh. We'll run the risk that it's like this. 12. The favorite shows of a small group of subscribers are recorded in the favorite table. Okay. Complete the code. Create a list of all users whose favorite show is you. Oh, who watched that? I watched that. It's really, really great. A little bit creepy though. Titles of the shows were not entered consistently. Title? Could we regex match? Is that even possible? I suppose we could. Title equals you would not be good. We'd have to do... come on, what's the thing for that? Come on. Yeah, there we go. Regex matches title, comma, the regex would be just you. Well, it's just gonna return true. God damn it. I know that's wrong. Oh dear. The wine table gives information about wines. Okay. Stocked an online wine retailer. Type variable indicates if wine is red, white, or sparkling. Of course, because there's no rosé wine in this retailer. Calculate the average price. Select round price. Oh wow, okay, they want us to do actually average price. Calculate the average price, rounding to 2 decimal places. From Ryan, where? Why do we need a where condition? Type variable indicates whether the wine is red, white, or sparkling. Calculate the average price, rounding the values to 2 decimal places. Why do we need something here? From wine, order by type. Ah, yeah. My favorite. Group by type. Because we're doing an aggregation here. Two more and then this torture is over. Alright. The sentence, movies, TV series is delimited using a comma. Split the sentence. Yeah, okay. Is it just Postgres is split? Blah blah blah. Oh, return the second part. Oh no. As part 2. Return part of string. I don't remember the function names. Oh, come on. Return value of comma separated string. This is not gonna work in time. 13 seconds. Oh, split part. Of course. And I want the second part. Split by that and return part 2. Okay. I'm almost sweating here, guys, and it's middle of winter. The wine table contains information about wines offered in a restaurant. However, there are some prices missing. Count the number of missing values. Select. Count. Distinct. No. Count star from wine where price is null. Must be something weird behind this. Why would they give us all the other stuff? Nah, let's submit. Jazzman, I saw your website and I booked you. Is it free, right? Yes, it is. So if you did do a booking, I should see that. Let me just take a quick look to make sure that's arrived and we can view the results. So I'm just going to blur that for a sec. Oh no. Sorry about my English. Please don't apologize for that. I'm sure your English is just fine. Yes, I received your booking, yes. For the time that you wanted. No problem. So I look forward to speaking with you. I will take a look at that a little bit later. So how did we do? This is how we did. Honestly, I think that's pretty awesome. So in case you want to interpret this, I received a score of 150. I performed better than 95% of your peers. This is what the 95th percentile means. Thank you, Lily. That's pretty good. I agree. I'm quite happy with that result. Do I agree with it? I do. I think I would have rated myself a little bit less high. I definitely wouldn't have rated myself higher than that. But I agree with my score. And now they're actually showing us some detailed recommendations. So this is very cool. I really like this. So aggregating, ordering 3 out of 4, adding to existing 4 out of 5, creating subqueries. Yeah, but that could also be maybe something. Could be something also about the data set they provided or how they explained it. Because I think with the subqueries that I probably would have done, yeah, just as well. So it's telling me I should go to intermediate SQL. Data analysis in SQL was verified. That's nice. What do I do now? Review my answers. Okay. Lily says the time limit and question clarity. Yeah, this is always a problem. So this is where I paid too much attention to chat. That's right there. That's your fault. It's all your fault. No, this is pretty interesting. I mean, let's see where we got stuff correct. This is fine. Incorrect. Syntax error, obviously. Select count match ID from match. Yeah, we didn't actually need to do the nested select there. That's time pressure. It's good to review our mistakes. Win margin greater than select average win margin. Yeah, these are obviously time errors. If I had a little bit more time to think about this. So it's interesting, they are skilled the questions. The questions themselves have different difficulties, I think. Yeah, see, like this is a medium difficulty question, and so obviously that factors into the scoring model. This is very interesting. I mean, I would love to see more like DataCamp's actual data sets that they use to train their own courses and stuff like that. Would be fascinating. Match captain, count distinct match ID, count match ID. Well, this is just, that's mean. Okay. Where select star from, yeah, that's just, that's not correct. Should have known better on that one for sure. So what do we do? This one we did right. Cricket. Average energy. Oh, I should have known it was an over. I should have known. So basically, what an over does is it takes the entire data set. If you don't partition it, it takes the entire data set and does the entire average of the entire data set that you have in that window, which is very useful. You actually don't need to do common table expressions or nested subqueries and stuff like that. It's quite advanced, actually, yeah. Yeah, I forgot the in. That's a basic mistake, really. Definitely. So we got everything else right, except this one. Oh, that's clever. Hadn't thought of that. So this is a case of data cleansing. I would never run into this problem because I would have cleaned the data in the first place. I would have lowercased all the values in the system, you see. That's why I scored so low here. Okay, so now what? I'm just gonna blur for a sec so I can check out where it takes me. I don't want to quit the assessment. So the assessment, okay, back to results. Do I want to retake the assessment? No. Intermediate SQL. I found that a little bit confusing. So I'm enrolled in this track now, SQL Fundamentals. Okay, so, oh yeah, okay. So you scored 150 and are able to skip this course. Mark as completed. That's awesome. You scored 150 on data analysis in SQL. We recommend that you take this course. So this is a 4-hour course. Master complex SQL queries necessary to answer a wide array of data science questions. This is what I'm looking for. This is cool. Show me hard stuff. I want to see like super difficult SQL stuff. So again, I'm going to skip the videos. If you weren't here at the beginning, I am not going to show the videos from DataCamp. I think it's their content and I don't want to share it like that on my channel. For free, if you will. I think that you should pay for this course, like I'm doing. It's money well spent, okay? Let's be honest. It's really, even someone like myself who's been writing SQL for nearly 4 years, almost, at a pretty high, I would say a good level, like we saw before, this 95th percentile. But yeah, this is, I think it's really important to pay for these kinds of things. But you can see me do these exercises. It doesn't mean that you'll be able to write them on your own machine. It just means you can follow along later. So Lily, I think you asked before about the videos. They will be up on my YouTube. I can definitely get the link for you, just to link to the playlist. It is in my profile, but I can just put that in chat as well. So that's the playlist of the VODs from Twitch. And yeah, case statements, possibly my favorite function in SQL. If you've seen any of my previous streams, you'll know that pretty much every stream I used a case statement. Wherever I could, I can use case statements. I just love them because they're advanced if conditions, and if conditions are already really powerful, but case is like another level. Unfortunately, I'm not a soccer person. That's a whole nother discussion. But I just, whenever there's like soccer stuff, I just phase out. So I'll just pretend it's something else, like ice hockey, which as a Swiss Canadian is more suitable. 12,800 matches from 11 countries. Throughout this course, you will be shown filtered versions of the tables. So it's the whole course is about this one? Okay. Select the team's long name and API ID from the team's Germany table. So it knows that we're at a certain level, so it's not going to start giving hand-holding anymore. Only include FC Schalke 04 and FC Bayern Munich. We're in FC Schalke 04. I didn't plan for this to be about German teams either, by the way. I know there's a lot of contention in football, football, about teams, and that kind of stuff doesn't really seem to happen as much with ice hockey and rugby and stuff like that. So the team long name is the team long name and the API. I think it's called API. Let's see. Team API ID. API would have been too easy, right? I'm copying this because they always reset my answers. Filter the query for FC Schalke using in. See, they even tell you what to do, giving the team API IDs needed for the next step. Okay, we need those two APIs, all right? So now what? Identify the home team as Bayern Munich, Schalke 04, or neither. Oh, this is a case. So case when home team ID equals Bayern Munich. Oh, it's not equals. It's in, isn't it? Bayern Munich. FC Schalke 04. or neither. This is odd. I can reference the slides from the video on the top right of my screen. That's cool. There are slides. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Case when we know about. Yeah. Reviewing case when. Multiple logical conditions, of course. You can use and or together in brackets too within case when. Who here has already worked with case when in SQL already? Let me know, chat. I'm worried about this one. I don't understand it. Home team ID. But I don't understand. It's this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. The home team ID. Lily says I have, but only exercises like this when I know I have to use it. That is so this is a very if you watch some of my previous videos, you'll see that one of the things that allows you to be a more advanced analyst is understanding when to use what function. That's, I think, the hardest thing to decide, but there's not always one way to do things, let's say. So maybe two case whens. I think it is one case when, because they're ending it here. So they're grouping by this. You can tell by the group by as well that they want to have one. Group the carry by the case statement alias home team. So when the home team, I don't know where the home team ID is coming from. That's the thing, right? Because matches I see, it's from matches Germany. Sorry, I was looking at the teams Germany. So when the home team ID, they're smart. Yeah, let's do. So when home team ID is null, identify the home team as Bayern Munich, Schalke 04 or neither. So when home team ID equals, I don't understand what they want here. Case statement that identifies whether a match in Germany included hold on a second. Matches Germany is already matches in Germany. Because there's two. Because they could have been the away team. Oh, yeah. They are really sneaky. So when the home team ID is 9823, or the away team ID is, what was the other one? 10189. Or away team ID equals 10189. This is weird though. Why would there be another or statement in between? That doesn't make sense. Maybe it's like away team ID in like this. I mean, this is how I would write it. Let's be honest. I would write it like this. The ID is an integer, and I would just write it like this. just going to copy from here. And it will just tell us why it's wrong. When away team ID in 9823. Oh, we're missing the then. Oh, that's why. It's about home team. Yeah. We've been overcomplicating this one. I thought they were trying to do something so much more advanced. So if it's 9823, then FC Bayern Munich. Oh, we can just call it Bayern Munich. That's what they want. And then it, or, so this is the first when. I don't like doing case whens like this. I like doing them like that. And then when, so that condition doesn't match. So it's then home team ID equals 10189. Then Schalke 04, else other. And as home team, like this. This is how I would format it. Oh, disgusting, this one. Cool, so they had 68 matches each, which is fair as home team. Submit. It's definitely going to be wrong. Yeah, it's the other way around. You see, this is really the problem with their checker. It's good, but it's too good. Wait, what? Oh, come on, man. We have to actually call them the official ones. There we go. You were able to identify two teams using case instead of a join, which could only identify one at a time. Let's learn more about some key teams in Europe. Alright. Select the date of the match. Match is Spain. What's the date of the match? Date. Okay. Using a case statement to identify matches as home wins. Alright. Case. Now that I know how they write it. Case when home goal is greater than away goal, then home win. When home goal is smaller than away goal, then home loss. Sad face. Else, tie. We don't need to make a when condition. And as outcome. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Left join the team Spain table API team API ID column onto the matches Spain table away team. This allows us to retrieve the away team's identity. Ooh, very cool. So left join. The reason we're left joining is that we only get the teams that match from the ones that are in matches Spain. T. Oh, see, I do this backwards. I do this the other way. If I write left join team Spain as T, then I do T dot something equals M dot something, because I'm left joining. What they do is they start M dot. That's just, it's just preference stuff. So what are we joining? Team Spain. We are joining the away team ID. You see, this is why I do it the other way. Matches Spain. Away team ID equals team Spain dot team API ID. Or is it just ID? Good question. So if you're here, how are you enjoying today's stream compared to the other streams I've been doing? If you've seen some of the previous ones, obviously it's a little bit different because I'm not showing you a data set that I found or thought was interesting, just showing you how I learn and make sure that I'm doing things right, factually in this case. Just let me know in chat how you think the stream is today. Team long name column and call it opponent. Where's the team long name? Team long name. Long name as opponent. Complete the case when. Case when m.home goal. I think this is just about this data set. Home goal is greater than away goal. Then home win when home goal. Let's copy this, I'm too lazy. Else tie and as outcome. What's the issue? Your code generated an error. Okay. Yeah. That's why. Lily, you say, I learned a lot of new expressions from the assessment. These exercises require a lot of different things to think about. They specify that you join on columns listed in that first bullet. Oh, sorry, those were two separate comments. I thought you'd carried from your previous comment. Yeah, I think the assessment was good. I'm happy with the result. I think it also showed, like you said, a lot of different thinking required, not just purely, oh, can I just group by and aggregate or something like that. And they want me to actually, so your second comment is about join on columns listed in the bullet. Yeah, I should read better. That's my number one problem with these kinds of things, is if I already know SQL at a good level, that I tend to kind of skip stuff that's written here. Left join teams Spain table on the team API ID. So yeah, we will use that one instead. But you see, like in this scenario, could have been either of them. I think the ID is just the record ID. But that's very good to know. Cool. Complete the same case statement as the previous steps. Filter for matches where the home team is FC Barcelona. Okay. It's my best Spanish accent, by the way. When the M home goal is greater than the M away, what was it called? Away goal. Then Barcelona win. When they're a home team? Yep, exactly. You'll do this using a case. The matches Spain currently contains Barcelona's matches and has two key columns that can be joined. However, you can only join Team Spain in one column at a time. Exactly, so it's the same data set that we've had before. M.away goal Barcelona loss. else tie. And as outcome, where m.homeTeamID Barcelona. Let's check out what Barcelona's ID is. Oh, they tell you, thanks. See, yeah, you're right, Lily. I think that was a good tip. I should just... You implied it but didn't say it. I should just read, which is cool. Where the home team is FC Barcelona. Can't I run this? Oh, okay. They lost once against Real Madrid and they tied against Sevilla. Nice. Did you notice how often Barcelona tends to win? We did. Indeed. Case statements comparing two column values, part 2. They could use like cool cinematic effects like previously on case statements to make it even more entertaining for people like me. But I think they just focus on the mass as a whole. So case when, what do we want to compare? Complete the case statement to identify Barcelona's away team games as wins, losses, or ties. Left join. Again, we're doing matches Spain. When the home goal, we have to do m.homegoal, otherwise they don't like it. So this is when they were away. So it will be when their away team ID equals H. What was their ID? 8634. Do you guys like the music, by the way? I'm playing the EDM station at the moment, which I think is pretty good. We could change to something else if you guys like. m.homegoal is less than m.awaygoal. m.homegoal is greater than m.awaygoal. I don't know why they make you rewrite this all the time, because it's always the same thing, but I guess repetition is your friend. Team Spain on the m dot home team ID equals t dot, same as before, team API ID. Hey Carl, nice to see you in my stream. I think you have something planned for a little bit later, right? I could definitely finish up and join for your stream. Maybe bring the people over as well. If there's a few people in here, why not? So we should run this. Oh, what did we make? Afternoon for me and I'm streaming soon. It's already gone past 10:15 here. Yeah, I forgot the thens in here. That's why it's not liking this. That's why I always run before submitting now. In the beginning, in the first part of this course, this is intermediate, but in the introduction to SQL part, when I was getting I had something like 4,000 XP in one go because I just did the whole thing. Oh, do you guys know each other, Lily and Carl? That's very cool. We can share viewers, that's great. Barcelona's performance seems to be worse when they are the away team. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. Met in person. That seems to be when we were allowed to meet in person, so that's some time ago. Back when we had conferences. Indeed. Although I was at an online conference 2 weeks ago. Actually an unconference, it's called. but it was still very good. In case things get more complex, I do like that they make a lot of puns in DataCamp, and all the instructors do it, so I really like that. Barcelona and Real Madrid have been rival teams for more than 80 years. So this is getting into like sports analytics, where actually there's a streamer on Twitch who does a lot of sports analytics. I could actually link to his channel. He's in my profile, if you're curious. But yeah, matches between these two teams are given the name El Clásico, the classic. It's like, you know, Batman versus the Joker. In this exercise, you will query a list of matches played between these two rivals. You'll notice in step 2 that when you have multiple logical conditions in a case statement, you may quickly end up with a large number of when clauses to logically test every outcome. It's important to make sure you don't accidentally, this is a super, super important sentence. When you make a lot of whens, and then you just write else, because you're like, oh yeah, I think I covered all of them. Some stuff might land in the else that you didn't intend to, and you don't see that. That's the problem. So what I tend to do, and this is just the way I do things. So if I was writing this query for reals, I would actually do this query here. That would be fine. But I would do from, and I would do a nested query, where I would make in the nested query, I would do like this, right? I would do from matches Spain. I would actually write, like, for example, select date, and then I would write out the case statement, but I would include the match ID, for example. So I don't know, this match ID, for example, is this one here, like ID, like this, and then I would have the case statement here. And then I would run just this, and it would show me which match got classified into which one. Or even I would just output the entire table plus the case statement. And if in some of my previous VODs I've done that. So I would get the whole table, and then I would see the classification. So I would know, did I miss one of the classifications, especially if I'm doing multiple ones. So we could do that here too, just as an example, because I think you can just run selected code. I think we can do that. It should allow me to do that. Let's try it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you can do that. We should totally try this. All right, so we do case when something matches Spain. So we're looking at the identify the home team as Barcelona or Real Madrid. Okay, so this is the home team ID. Then FC Barcelona. This is fine. Or home team ID equals what? Wait a second. Yeah, okay. Real Madrid 8633. Rebooting. Okay. Hope your computer is not giving you issues. So when home team ID is then okay, end as home. Identify the away team. Oh my god, we're going to be super lazy and just do it this way. Hey, work smart, not hard, right? Okay. So if we take these two and smack those in here, that was fun. Let's run this. So you see? Now you see the classification. FC Barcelona, away team ID 8634. As you see here, these are all the matches they played. Real Madrid. So these are all the ones they played, and then there's at some point they'll be the ones where they played each other. Voila, this one for example. And the result was 1-3. So Barcelona beat Real Madrid. And it will only give us now the ones where they played each other. Once home, once away. I'm copying this because I'm pretty sure it's going to ask us to do it again. Alright. Construct the final case statement identifying who won each match. Note that there are 3 possible outcomes, but 5 conditions. Pooh. Okay. When home goal. This will be fun. Let's end this first. Alright. These are all thens, obviously. Save myself typing that. So there are 5 conditions. So the home team Oh, I see. They're just joining here with an and. So when the home team is like that, wait, oh, they've done it the other way. So when greater than Barcelona win, when less than Real Madrid win. Interesting. Wait a second. Is this right? No. This is a logical problem. I'm not really sure why they've chosen to do it in this way. Fill in the logical operators. So I have matches Spain. At some point there'll be their ID. Let's see. 8634, for example. And whatever, let's just say it was this one. And then the home goal was greater than the other goal. So like in this scenario, this line for example. Skipping this track, sorry. This is getting on my nerve. So why? This is odd. Oh. Ah, right, yeah. They want when their home team ID is that, and when their away team ID is that. So both win cases and both loss cases. Sorry, I just had to sneeze. Okay, so we can submit it now. Wonderful. These two teams are fairly evenly matched. With a sample size of 2, I would not say that. But, okay. Let's generate a list of matches won by Italy's Bologna team. Bologna! Reminds me of bolognese, of course. Do you use cap lock every time you capitalize? So actually, Lily, I don't. The main reason for that is in my normal editor that I use, which is DataGrip, it actually automatically capitalizes for me. And how do you select the whole word when your cursor is in front of a word? So it kind of depends on your system. In the case of Mac, I use Command Shift. I don't know if you're on a Mac or on Windows. If you're on Windows, you would have to ask someone else, unfortunately, because I don't know what it is. So you're just a fast typer for capitalizing. Yeah, I basically Shift. In this particular scenario with DataCamp, I'm actually using Shift, yeah. But I'm a touch typer. I don't look at the keyboard when I type, generally speaking. That's just having been typing for too long or too much, you end up being touch typer. And I can recommend using a good keyboard. I myself use a Logitech keyboard. It's actually linked in my setup in my About page on Twitch. Specifically for Mac, it's a wireless keyboard, and I really like it. I can highly recommend it if you have a Mac. And a good mouse, of course, is very, very important for general computer work. Anyway, what do we want here? Team long name. So now that I told you I'm such a good typer and I make all these mistakes, it's going to be very embarrassing. Team long name and team API ID. From Teams Italy, where team long name is Bologna. Okay, 9857. We probably could have done that a different way, but alright. What kind of things specifically are you interested in, Lily? I mean, you talked about going into a data analysis job, but maybe something on one of the upcoming streams that we could look at. What kind of data sets you'll be working with. We could try and find an open one on Kaggle and explore that a little bit. Could be interesting. Let's generate a list of matches. Okay, select the season and date a match was played. A lot of consolidation work. Ah, okay, so this is like in finance, is that right? Okay, so in home team ID equals telecom procurement. Oh wow, okay. That's out of my depth. Most certainly. Identifying supplier spending. That's quite interesting though. Oh, these are very classic in-house data sets, yeah. I'm more of a data scientist. Oh, that's very interesting. But it's my first job breaking in. That's great. I mean, I would say data science is my weakest part of my overall data profile. So like now I'm sort of brushing up my SQL, and the next step for me will be going more into the statistics. That's why I spend a lot of time on Carl's streams, which have been very helpful. Coming from a subscription background personally has been super helpful, understanding also what Carl's talking about, but some of the concepts are still really complex. Like remedials and just, yeah, some of the statistical concepts are just very complex. My team is tasked to build a dashboard and Excel interactive tool for internal stakeholders. Ooh, very cool. Although Excel, not so sure if that's the right choice. If it's using VBA or something, there could be a use case for that, but there's some pretty cool tools out there that sit on top of BI systems. Data warehouses. Identify when Bologna won a match. There's a lot to learn with statistics and data science, yeah. You said it. No, I'll probably be focusing a little bit on forecasting initially. I actually have another course on DataCamp that I've been following on forecasting, Holt Winters and things like that. Very, very basic time series forecasting, just to get a grasp on that kind of thing, and then go slowly into more R, possibly Python. I don't want to learn both. I know a little bit of both already, but I want to focus on one. That's going to be the number one thing for me this year as well, is focusing on that, because I'm not like focused in one area. I have some specialty knowledge in some data areas, like spent a lot of time in collecting data and JavaScript and things like that, but I'm like quite broadly specialized. I'm like a generalist in a specialist area. What work do you do or did in the past? I mean, the short version is that I started out as a digital analyst, which is sort of the web tracking side of things. And now I'm more of a broad spectrum data person within a larger data team of 10 people. I worked at an agency for almost 4 years. I worked at a subscription business, funnily enough using Zora for a lot of that time, which is why Carl's stream is also very interesting, because he's based at Zora, so they obviously have a lot to do with subscriptions. I actually don't know Carl in person. We've never met. I actually found out about him on Twitch. It was really by accident. I started streaming on Twitch and I was looking for others doing data related streams, and I found Carl's. Yeah, it's definitely a funny situation. But I changed jobs last year. I changed mid-year, and I now work for a media company. But yeah, I'm within this larger data team. I'm like a kind of do-it-all kind of guy, except data science. I mean, I know also data engineering things, but not in detail. But I know how to like do basic ETL and things like that. I know concepts like different schemas and things like that. So yeah, data science is the one thing I'm really lacking, I would say, but I understand a lot, of course, having collaborated on various ML projects and things like that in the past, training and testing models as well, and really cool predictive stuff. So yeah, I would like to just go deeper into the data science stuff, which is why there's a lot of data scientists on Twitch that I've found so far, because I spent a lot of time searching for them. Because unfortunately, Twitch's search algorithm is pretty balls, I'm gonna put it that way. So let's identify when Bologna won a match. Otherwise, DataCamp is gonna think that I've passed away at my computer. Sometimes it times out the sessions. When the home team ID is 9857 and the home goal is greater than the away goal, then Bologna won. When the away team ID is 9857 and the away goal is larger than the home goal, then they also won. And we're going to end as outcome. You see, there's no else condition here, because we only want to identify when they won a match and not the other ones. Okie dokie. Oh, that's interesting. The nulls are there, of course, because there's no else condition. Select the home goal and away goal for each match. Home goal. Away goal. Case when home team ID equals and home goal over away goal. So like a lot of this is really just fluid work. Once you understand the logic, then Case when exclude games not won. Interesting. And use a case statement in the where clause to filter all null values. Yeah. So let me, if I were to explain this, easiest, if you don't quite understand this, it's like this. Where something is not null. And the reason that works is because it executes the case when sequentially, right? There's a couple of cases where this might not work. You now have details on every match in the database where Bologna won. I feel like I should copy that. We will work on adding more useful information to your queries later in this course. Alright. Case when with aggregate functions. Ooh, yeah. One of my favorite things. This is really cool. Create a case statement that identifies the ID of the matches played in the 2012-2013 season. Okay. Case. First we have to have our count. Case when m season equals blah 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 and MID oh, no, it's a then. Else null end. So what it's doing is this is returning a set of IDs that are specific to this condition, because otherwise you'd have to do that with like a select and a where filter, but you can do this just directly with that, and then you can count it, but don't forget the group by. I would have, most certainly. Country name alias. Country. See, in Postgres you can also just write 1 to reference that first column, which is super cool. Nice. Switzerland. Submit. Count using case when. Do the number of soccer matches played in a given European country differ across seasons? We should definitely just replace all of this with football. You will examine the number of matches played. Create 3 case when statements counting the matches. Can I use multi-select? No, I can't. Oh, DataCamp. Multi-line select would have been the most beautiful thing here, because these are all identical, save for the tiny condition saying what is what. So when m season equals, this is from country, match, season. Oh yeah, okay, so it's just 2011 slash 20, oops, sorry, it's 2012 slash 2013. Then MID end. I don't want to write this over and over. I don't think there's a lot of value in repeating things like that, just in my opinion. Maybe they found that it's been effective, but I don't personally find it very effective to repeat stuff. See, I told you I'd forget the group by. You didn't believe me, but I totally did. There we go. So yeah, there's definitely different numbers. Oh, Belgium only played 12 matches in 2013-2014. Why is that? Yeah, where do you see the largest difference? Exactly. Why did Belgium not play any games in 2013, 2014. Does someone know that? I would be super impressed if someone in chat knew that without Googling. Count and case when. In R or Python, you have the ability to calculate a sum of logical values directly. In SQL, you have to convert these values into 1 and 0 before calculating a sum. Yes, you see, this is one of the reasons I want to learn R. Or Python. Because of that reason. You do not need to do sum case when m season equals blah 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 and home goal greater than away goal. Create 3 case statements to count matches in each. Okay, we have to do this. And this is as matches. It's just 1. Yeah, they should have called this matches 1. Would be clear. So basically, you wrap the sum around the case when. So you have then 1, else 0. And that's it. And now we can just we can just copy this whole thing, honestly. And the only thing we need to change is here. 13, 14, 15, sorry, 14, 15. Group by 1. Voila. That's it. These are the matches 1 for each one. Beautiful. Calculating percent with case and average. Okay. I didn't realize Matt Zo's music is on here. That's very cool. So I'm using this Pretzel Rocks open music library. So it's like DMCA proof, if you will. Didn't realize that Matt Zo, that some of his music, oh wow, a lot of his music, 11 tracks on here. That's very cool. It's a whitelist. Very nice. I would like to listen to... let's leave this on for the moment. Count the home wins, away wins, and ties. Yeah, it's misleading because it says count, but it's actually not. Is it count? Wait a second. Oh, I see. They're combining both. Yeah, okay. Case when M home goal greater than away goal. Okay. Then MID. Aha, yeah, we're just doing the count first. Then we're doing the average afterwards, of course. There should be like a shortcut for case when. So if it's an away win and if it's a tie, wonderful. Calculate the percentage of matches tied using a case statement inside an average. So average case when M season and M goal greater than 1, when M season and M home away goal then 0? Oh, wait a second. Hold on a second. Wait. End as ties 2013, 2014. The average, calculate the percentage of tied games. Yeah, okay, then. So if it's equal, then 1, and otherwise if it's not equal. Okay. Do the same thing again, just for a different season. 2014, 2015. We can't use the slash in our column name. Syntax error. Yep, because of the comma. Very cool. The previous ties columns returned values with 14 decimal points. Ah! I'm not writing all of this again. So these are our case wins. Oh, they included it. Never mind. Average. Round average. How many decimal points? 2. 2 decimal points. All right. Oops, typo. Lovely. Fantastic. What patterns are we seeing? Who tends to score ties more often? Well, okay. Poland tends to tie a lot. Italy as well. 32%. Yeah. Where are the subqueries? Filtering using scalar subqueries. This is fun. Subqueries are incredibly powerful. You can filter data based on single scalar values. In using a subquery in ways you cannot by using where statements or joins. You will likely encounter subqueries in any real-world setting that uses relational databases. Absolutely. In this exercise, you will generate a list of matches where the total goals scored for both teams is more than 3 times the average for games. Can you calculate the average? Can you triple the average home and away goals scored across all matches? This will become your subquery in the next step. Okay. Home times away. Home times it. I don't even know what the columns are called. It's called goal. Is this right? Maybe. It's like the average of home and away goals multiplied by 3. Oh. Wants us to do something completely different. Alright. Date home goals and away goals in the main query. Date. Home goal. We shall do as you command. Away goal. Sorry, notification from the real world. Away goal from matches 2013-2014. Filter the main query for matches where the total goals scored exceed the value in the subquery. Where home goal plus away goal exceed 3 times the average, exceeds greater than, run. The average was like 8.2 something. Checks out. Look at these scores! The calculation would have been much more difficult without a subquery. Yes, I agree. Filtering using a subquery with a list. Oh, hydration time. Create a subquery in the where clause that retrieves all unique home team ID values. Okay, select distinct. I'm assuming we go to common table expressions after this because subqueries are cool, but CTEs, that's where all the fun is really at, let's be honest. That's honestly what I really like. Select distinct home team ID. I'm sure that it's not. Why do they write ID large when it's not in the column? That's an oversight. So yeah, if you're here today and you've been in previous streams, I'd love to know if you prefer today's stream or think it's a nice change of pace compared to stuff we've been doing previously, or if you hate just watching me learn and write SQL without a specific end goal. Oh yeah, I wanted to change the music briefly to, what was it? There's a channel called Chiptune. It's cool. Distinct home team ID from, what's this from? Team, must be. No. This is great. I think you can parse stuff faster than I can read sometimes. Thank you for the feedback, Lily. It comes with a lot of practice, to be honest. I mean, if you do this for a few years, then you kind of get used to reading through things. Like through, as in scanning and then getting the important stuff out of it. This has to be from Match. There's no way. Yeah, from Match. Retrieves all unique. Select the team long name. Exclude all values from the subquery. Where team ID not in would be the exclude. Team long name. Team short name. From team. Fine. There are 52 teams without any home games. Why do you think that is? They probably don't have a stadium where they can host. Well, that seems unlikely, right? I don't recognize any of these teams. Lugano? I mean, this is a Swiss team. That would be my guess, is they don't have a place to host. Either they don't have a stadium or it's double booked, right? They don't have a capacity. Filtering with more complex query conditions. Create a subquery in the where clause again. Filter for teams with 8 or more home goals. So team ID in, select home team ID from team where home goal. It's in team, right? Oh, match. Match where home goal greater than or equal to 8. And we want the team long name and the team short name from team. Run that. There we go. Subqueries in from. Oh, look at all this XP. Freaking cool. Heckin' great. The match table does not contain country or team names. Obviously. Create the subquery to be used in the next step, which selects the country ID and match ID from the match table. Filter the query for matches with greater than or equal to 10 goals. Home goal plus, away goal. Greater than or equal to 10. Integer, not string. No single quotes. Country ID is the match ID. Should we call this match ID? I wonder if it'll be wrong. They don't like that we used an alias. Boo on you, DataCamp. Well, construct a subquery that selects only matches with 10 or more goals. Yeah. We did that last time. Inner join the subquery, select the name from the country and count. Count the ID column. Okay. I can do this. Alright. Select country. Where are we doing this from? from country, so the name is the country name. Count. Yeah, let's do this properly. C.name. And then we have the matches. The m.id is going to be the matches, and we're going to do an inner join our query as sub on c dot country something. What are we joining? We're joining the country ID. C.id is sub.country ID. Don't agree with the sub, but okay. Okay. So we're gonna select the name, ID. I'll do it the other way around. That's cleaner. So if I have from match, so I have an ID. Oh, wait a second. What do we want in here? The ID. Do I even need anything else? That was weird. Where home goal plus away goal greater than equal to 10. Now let's run it. Column name does not exist. Yeah, exactly. What do they want from here? Ah, yeah, of course, you need the country ID. Duh. Okay. Good job. You generated a count of matches in each country where the total goals was higher than 10. That's a lot of goals. Is it though? I don't know. Building on subqueries. Oh wow, that's a lot. Then we will do correlated queries. Nice. I think I will probably try to finish off this bit, and then maybe we'll jump over to Carl's stream. Peek in there for a little bit. Select the country. Complete the subquery inside the from. Select the country name from the country table. Select blah 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 from match as M. Left join country. So C.name is the country name. Then we want total goals. What else does it want us to have in here? Home goal and away goal. Oh yeah, okay. M.home goal. And then we want M.home goal plus M.away goal is the total goals. Okay. Sub Q, terrible alias. Terrible alias. So from that, where total goals, what are we filtering? 10 or more as before. So we want the country date, home goal, away goal, where total goals over 10, and we don't have to include total goals in there. That's right. You can manipulate information you extract by placing joins in or using a subquery. Subqueries in select. In the subquery, select the average total goals by adding home goal and away goal. Round average. Oh, hold on a second. Select and round the average total goals for the season. Select, round, oopsies, average, home goal plus away goal to from match, filter results where only the average of goals in the 2013 season. 2013-2014. Filter results in the main query the same way you filtered the subquery. Okay. Group by league name. Just one. So we want to round. Select the average total goals. This calculates the total average goals for each league. M.home goal. Alright. Switzerland Super League. Wonderful. 2.89 goals. Seems to be a lot of goals. Didn't expect Switzerland to be on top. Did you? I certainly didn't. With the subquery and select, you can compare each league's average to the overall average. Which leagues tend to score higher than average? Yeah, the overall average is 2.7, so it's only 3. Select the average goals scored in a match for each league in the main query. Select the average goals scored in a match overall for 2013-2014. Subtract the subquery from the average number of goals. Filter the main query so that only games from the 2013-2014 season are included. Well, that sounds jolly good. Very, very exciting. So we want to do from league, so L dot name So this is a lot weirder than I thought, the music, by the way. I think I will turn on the surprise me one. So, round average m.home goal has average goals. Round average m.home goal subtract from select average home goal. Is this right? From match where season equals 2013-2014. I think I need to do that here too. Games in the Netherlands tend to score the highest number of goals on average in the season. Really? I have no idea why that is. Does anyone know who watches soccer regularly? Because I literally have no clue why this would be that way. Subqueries everywhere, okay. Where are we now? We are almost done. We have 3 more lessons. In soccer leagues, games are played at different stages. Winning teams progress from one stage to the next. That makes sense. In this lesson you will build a final query across 3 exercises that will contain 3 subqueries. One in the select, one in the from, and one in the where. Does the average number of goals scored change as the stakes get higher? Okay. We can already do that because I had it in my clipboard. Group by stage. Round the average of the m dot home goal. Select the average overall goals for 2012-2013. Select average home goal. Copying this because we're gonna need it. Oh. What do we do here? No operator matches the given name and argument types. Yes. We have to put these in single quotes because it's a string. Thank you, Lily, for spotting that one. Twitch is always a little bit delayed, unfortunately, compared to what's happening. So if I clap now, you only hear it like a second later or something like that. I'll submit that. Excellent job. We're going to continue building. Okay, that's fine. Ooh. This looks fun. Stage. Average goals from the subquery. Round. Average. Ah, wait a second. It wants us to use... Okay, select stage. And the average goals. It's probably going to do like this. Home goal from match where season equals 2012-2013, where the average home goals is higher than the overall average. Okay. Home goal, away goal, where season equals this. That should be correct. There we go. Glad to see you're still watching as well, Lily. Who else is here? I'm wondering. With the time difference, it's always a bit funny. I tend to stream in the evenings here in Europe, but obviously for the greater part of the US, that's morning or early afternoon. Where in Canada are you? So I'm actually not in Canada. I'm Swiss Canadian. I'm based in Switzerland though. I'm based in Zurich, so it's just gone past 11:20 p.m. here. 5:20 p.m. for you. Okay. So what's this now? I think this is the last one. It is. We are the last one. Daily XP 2300. Amazing. Create a subquery and select that yields the average goals. This is what we did before. It's madness. Well, we'll just do it again then. Subquery first. So I'm gonna explain this one very briefly. I'm gonna start at the subquery in the from, then I'm gonna go to the select, and then I'm gonna do the filter. That's how I work. I work outwards. There are some people that work differently. Select the stage and the average goals. Oh man, come on. Getting late, you can see my typing gets worse. Home goals. Home goal as the average from match. And we can actually double check this. Is it the same season? 2012, 2013. How we can double check this is just by highlighting this select. Run it. Now we get the stage and the average goals per stage. Then we go here and we want the stage still, but we want to round the average that we already computed to our average, and we select an overall average, which is select average home goal plus away goal from match where season equals like that, and we're gonna call this overall average. So this is a very cool feature using a nested select, so this subquery here, to avoid having to calculate it overall or write a fixed number. It's a very cool feature. And then we do at the end, filter the main query, exceed the average. So unfortunately, it's not possible to use this, and that is why common table expressions rule over subqueries. Because in a common table expression, you could calculate this, and then you would have it available, and you would have done the join, and then you would be able to say where this greater than one thing. You wouldn't have to write the whole thing out again. But you know, it's building on that. It's building. It's definitely gonna go into common table expressions here in the next chapter, which I'm very, very excited about, and also window functions, because that's my jam. But we won't do that today. I'll be ending this in a few minutes once we see how this works out. And I think we can just use that again. Voila. There's no order by here, but that's fine. Use 3 subqueries to generate a list of stages that have a higher than average goal. Yeah, we did. Pooh, I got it. So this is the next step, is correlated queries. And I don't want to continue anymore today. Been on a little bit, so it's giving me some messages here. So yeah, it's the same data set as before, but yeah, we will obviously have to do that for today. Let's see where we got to. I can just show you here. Just 1 second here. Just want to blur that for 1 sec. Because there's some personal information on this. Lily, yeah, this is a lot. Thanks for streaming. I learned a lot. I'm very glad to hear that. That is the main reason that I am showing this. Otherwise, I would just be doing it on my own. Probably still talking to myself about the queries. But yes, actually, I can show you this. They're saying that I need 3 more hours on this one. I don't think that's true in my case. But yeah, that's what they say. So yeah, I think we will end the stream there today. Somewhat abruptly, maybe, but I hope it was interesting to see how kind of a more structured learning process looks like. And I am going to recommend that we go raid Carl, because I think we can do that. If we have enough viewers, we can raid Carl. Thank you, Lily, also for everyone participating in the stream. Really appreciate that. I do this on Twitch as opposed to just uploading videos afterwards, because of that interaction with chat and people are able to ask questions. That's the main reason I do that. So I would, let's see if we can go raid Carl. I don't think if we don't have enough viewers, we won't be able to do it. Let's see. So it doesn't seem like we can do that, because there's only a few people here. We could try. So Carl is currently online, and there we go. We are going over to Carl's channel. Thanks very much, and see you next time.